Good morning. It's actually afternoon and I need to go eat lunch, but I need to pick up my Declan from school today. I thought I would do a quick little get ready with me, Therapy Thursday style. And if you have no idea what that means, typically on Thursdays, I take my 9-year-old to therapy, and he is going there for some issues with anxiety and worry and all that kind of stuff. And it happens that it's typically on Thursdays. So I thought, so we just call it Therapy Thursday. And even yesterday, we were on the school bus to go to a field trip. And he was telling his friends how Thursday was going to be such a busy day because of Therapy Thursday. And I thought, how awesome for a 9-year-old to feel like therapy and getting help for your mental health is so normalized for him that he's just so happy to share with his friends that, oh, I'm super busy tomorrow because I've got Therapy Thursday. Actually, he didn't have Therapy Thursday today. We have so many things going on, dentist appointments, ball practice, that I wasn't able to make Therapy Thursday work for him today. So we are going to do that next week. But I thought I'm going to come on here and do my own little Therapy Thursday with you while I put on my 3D foundation. So I'm going to share a few things that have been really helping, both have helped myself in my own anxiety, but also have helped him. So as a mom to a 9-year-old who really struggles. So I, first of all, am using my cream-based makeup. So as I'm going, I'm going to go back and forth between explaining this and talking to you about therapy. So I am using my main color. I'm using Candlelit right now. I'm just tapping a little bit and then kind of swirling it on. If you have more mature skin, I recommend just kind of stippling it on. And this is going to make sure that it gets it into all of those fine lines and creases. Because I am healing my gut right now, I have a breakout around my mouth. So if you have a breakout or any type of like textured skin, I also stipple this in that area. And that's going to make sure that it gives you the best coverage with as minimal amount of product, because gone are the days where you have some sort of texture or a zip or something and you end up just like layering product after product. Okay, now I'm on to my brightening highlight. I'm going to place this into the inside and outside corner of my eye and then down the center of my face. And I hear my boys coming down, so we might have an intruder soon. Anyway, some things that have really helped me and have actually really helped Declan as he's been going through this anxiety is, you've probably heard like the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 thing before. Have you ever heard of this? So what 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is when you are fixating on something and your anxiety is creeping up, you might be kind of on the verge or in the middle of a panic attack. A good thing to think about is 5 things you can see, 4 things you can hear, 3 things you can touch, 2 things you can smell, 1 thing you can taste. And that originally when I was just reading that, I'm like, as if that works. But it actually has made such a difference with my 9-year-old. When he comes, he will get like something will trigger him. It's often at night when he has some time, kind of just downtime where he's just alone with his thoughts. And so when he comes out and he's super triggered and you can see that he's on the verge of panicking, I'll just immediately say, okay, name 5 things that you can see. And what that does is it takes the focus off of that thing that he's currently fixating on and puts it onto something else. So another really good example of this is, must have been a month ago. Mark was out of town. And so it was just me and my boys, and we went into Winnipeg, which is about an hour away from where I am. And I was at a restaurant alone with my boys, and I started having symptoms of an anxiety attack. And so I started feeling some of the symptoms that I get is I started feeling really dizzy. I got super nauseated all of a sudden. Like I was like, am I going to throw up? I also felt like I was going to pass out. My heart rate went up. And when that happens, everything just kind of closes in on me and I just become aware of everything. Like all the people chattering, noises get louder, smells get stronger, all of these sensations. And so what was happening during that time is I was also incredibly aware of how alone I was, even though I was in the midst of this very busy restaurant, and it was crazy busy. So it wasn't that I was alone. Actually, there were so many people around me, but I felt so alone because I was like, I'm in a city that I don't live in. I'm alone with my boys. So if I do pass out right here, they're alone in a restaurant where they don't know everything. All of these thoughts start, and that's where that panic starts to come from, because of these feelings that are triggered by anxiety. So a really good thing that I have learned, a good tool, in the past, I would have just kind of sat alone in those thoughts and just tried to get through them, breathe through them, be like, don't worry, which if you've ever had anxiety, you know that is not helpful. So what I need to do is I need to just let somebody in my circle know about it. So I texted. I knew that my hubby was in meetings and so wouldn't necessarily be close to his phone. So I messaged my sister, who is one of those people in my life who I know I can go to. And I just said, hey, I told her the situation. I'm in the middle of about to have like a pretty serious panic attack. I'm alone in a restaurant. This is where I am. I'm with my boys. And she was able to, she right away said, okay, just tell me 5 things that you can see. And so even though my boys were not aware, they were just chatting all around me, eating their mac and cheese and their chicken fingers, I was looking around the restaurant, finding things that I could smell, see. I touched my boy's, one of his jackets, just to feel that. It was something I could feel. That kind of stuff was so grounding to me and allowed me to get through the rest of the meal, quickly pay, and then get back in the car and head home. So if you have somebody, or you are somebody that struggles with anxiety, when you read that kind of thing on paper, it's like, what does that actually do? But it does a lot for the person who is actually struggling in that moment. So if you're not sure what to do and somebody is panicking around you, or you are yourself, go through the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method, and that'll be like very, very helpful for you. Another thing that I really love that Declan's therapist gave him is that she explained to him how we have an emotional brain and a logical brain. Now, just so you know, I'm not a therapist. I'm probably changing up these words. Maybe she says them in a lot better way. Let's just say that. But basically, she was saying, imagine that this here is your emotional brain. And that's great. Everybody should have emotions. And then this part here is your logical brain. And this is the thing that tells you what's good and what's bad, and is rational and all of that kind of stuff. Well, normally our brain is like this. So our emotional brain is tucked inside of our logical brain. And sometimes our logical brain opens and it gets stuck. And so our emotional brain has free reign. And so that's where we can feel really extra sad for no reason. Or maybe we feel really anxious, and then that starts to creep out, and then it gets bigger and bigger because we're thinking about all the what ifs. And so actually, while there's nothing wrong with feeling those feelings, we are in charge of those feelings, even though it doesn't feel like you are. And so then we have to take our logical brain and bring it back over. And just this kind of feeling alone, or like this symbolism, has made such a difference. I know Declan has mentioned to me before that he was in school, and the thing is at school he doesn't really exhibit this kind of stuff. Just like anxiety normally, it doesn't necessarily show up unless they're kind of alone or around the people that they feel most safe with. And so while most people wouldn't notice at school that he might be struggling, he has said that he'll have moments at school where he feels his anxiety rising, and so then he will just look down at his hand, go like this and that. And just that alone is a reminder of him of, I am in control and my emotions, my feelings don't control me. So those are a couple thoughts for my Therapy Thursday that you can kind of keep in your own toolbox for yourself, or if your kids are going through some of those things. They're simple, but they are very effective and very tactile. I think especially for kids, it's so handy to have those types of visuals and things that they can do where he can just take his mind off of that and just, okay, that's right, I'm in control. This doesn't need to become a bigger deal than it is. So there we go. I just threw on my eyebrow. I use Brow Luxe. I always get asked about Brow Luxe. Brow Luxe in the color taupe. They have many different colors. Go to RaylanReimer.com and under the affiliates, I believe, there is a link to this and you can choose your colors. Today's color on my cheek, I use the color Maui. This is this color. Now, this is only here until June. It is such a beautiful color. June 6th is the last day. So if you like this color, it's just the most beautiful spring, summer. I know I'm going to be rocking it all summer long when I'm heading to the beach. And on your lip, it's so pretty too. So I'm just going to put it here so you can see what it looks like. Isn't that a gorgeous color? It's just like super subtle, a little bit of a glisten. So pretty. Now I'm also going to add a little bit of this illuminator right on the top of my cheekbones. This is just going to draw that light down. Now that I've lifted up my cheekbones with my contour, I'm going to draw that light down. So this is that focal point of our face. So just going to go like this. If you've never used cream-based makeup, it is fantastic. It is naturally a little bit more glowy. It gives you that really nice, beautiful, youthful glow, kind of glazed donut kind of look. And less is more. So if you have started using this and you're like, it just does not look the way that it does on you, I am literally tapping 2 or 3 times and placing it on until there's nothing left on my brush. And that's how I can also blend everything together without it all getting mixed up and colors in the wrong area because I'm using such minimal amount of product. Somebody asked if it's more pinky or peachy. It's a coral base. So it is like it does have pink in it, but it's more of a coral base. So this is the color. And if I just put a little bit of it on my wrist, you can see. It's got more of a coral undertone. And then on my lip, it comes across a little bit more pink just because I have a natural pink tinge to my lip. It's such a pretty color though. So make sure that you grab it before it goes because June 6th, gone. Okay, I'm going to do a quick eye look. This is what I love about this makeup. It's all customized. So everything in here, I've customized to all the colors that I use, know, and love and are right for my skin tone. And the same goes for my eyeshadow. So I've chosen every single color that is in this little kit. And if this overwhelms you and you're like, that's huge. I know, it is huge. I started with a small one and now I'm here. I just became more and more obsessed with all the different colors and options. And so I invested in a larger, this is the 27 palette. You absolutely don't need this. So this is where a lot of people start. I've taken my 3 colors out, but it's 4 colors. And these are the 4 that are are your basic colors. 2 highlights, a contour, and a lip and cheek color. And then you can build from there. So super easy. Do I use the eyeshadow Tangled? I do not. I prefer the, powder-based eyeshadows myself. Tangled is cream base. And while there's nothing wrong with it, it's just not my preference. So this color that I'm using here, I started with Havana, which is this bright orange and looks really scary in the tin, but it's honestly the most gorgeous base, especially if you have green or blue eyes. I just did a class a couple weeks ago for some ladies in person, and she was like, I love your eye color. What is it? So I showed her and she was like, how? How are you wearing this? She's like, I could never wear that. I'm like, yes, you absolutely can. And it will be incredible on your eye color. So I did the exact same eye colors here that I did on her, on myself on her. She had beautiful blue eyes, and her eyes just popped. She sat right down right there and bought all of the colors because they were so, so pretty on her. So you blue-eyed girls, green-eyed girls, this little combo is exactly what you need in your summer palette. It's Havana, Sedona, and then this color here is Crush. And the three of them are just so pretty. Yes, I can show my palette again. So this is 27, so I have 27 different tints in here. This is my highlights, contour, bronzer. I have two bronzers put together just because I find that with my blush bronzer brush, it fits better. This is a color corrector that I use, my illuminator, and then this is my setting powder. The middle I've used for all my different lip and cheek color options. You definitely don't need this many, but I like to have the option. And then also my eyeshadows I place at the bottom. All my faves. There you go. Okay, so that's my eyes. Well, that was quick. I'm just going to throw on a little bit of mascara. And the other thing to know, this makeup is super simple. It took me a little bit longer to do today because I was talking to you about Therapy Thursday. But this look here will typically take me about 5 minutes, under 5 minutes when it's just me and I keep my mouth shut because I get a little bit chatty and then stop doing my makeup while I'm chatting. So 5-minute makeup. It is seriously the most simple, the most pretty. It feels like I'm not wearing any product. If you are like me and you just like to even out your skin tone, have a really kind of minimal looking makeup, this is for you. And I recommend doing either the blush bronzer brush to start off with or the detail brush. These two brushes are going to give you a really light to medium coverage. If you are finding that your makeup is looking cakey, you are using too much product. That is the number one thing. I've had ladies say like, well, I'm not, I'm using such minimal. I'm like, no, you really are just using way too much product. When I was at this recent class, I gave each lady a tin with a little bit, just a little bit. I took a little spatula and put a little bit of color in here, and I will show you how much color I put in. So I took my eyeshadow. I don't have a scoop here, so I'm just going to use my scissors. I just took a little bit like this. Let's go like that. And then I put it on. I got a fuzzy in there. Then I went like this. I was like, there you go. And they're like, wait, I need more. I'm like, nope. That's how much you use on your entire face. Just that. Just that little bit. That's why these tins look like they are small, but they last for a long time and they're super mighty. So if you're using more than this as your main foundation, you're using too much product. I know that sounds a little bit crazy, but it's true. So if you're finding that it is feeling greasy, cakey, all of those things, you just simply are using too much color. So a couple recommendations is the first thing, you've probably seen me and other ladies do the dot method. I know I just posted a reel a couple of days ago with myself using the method. If you're brand new to this makeup, don't start there. Put your makeup on like I did mine today. One color, blend, add the next color, blend, add the next color. What happens when you do that is you really get a good indication of how much product you need to use, and it will blend together a lot better than if you start with the dot method and then blend it all and you're like, oh, I feel too cakey. Well, yeah, you just put in too much product because you don't have any indication or foundation of how much you actually need on your skin. So that's just one little recommendation I have is if you are brand new or you're struggling and you've been doing the dot method, go back to just using your brush and one single color at a time. It will literally make the world of difference. All right. I was supposed to pick my kiddo up, it looks like, 10 minutes ago. I lost track of time. So I gotta go pick him up from school for lunch. He's got a dentist appointment. There's my simple, easy makeup. If you need a color match, you can text 204-400-1200 with hashtag match. I will send you all of the colors I recommend for you. Of course, if you have any questions, you can I'm always a DM away. And I hope you have a great rest of your Thursday. Bye.